request video. Today is Monday, and so the same day this will be posted. And I just wanted to let you all know that the request video is about using Magic Band Plus at the Disneyland Resort. So, okay, and the man that sent me this, his name is Danny, and he lives in SoCal as well, but he is also special needs, and that's really, a good thing to talk about, because Magic Band Plus can be a little bit confusing. For those who are not familiar, Magic Bands only used to be available at Walt Disney World up until, until about a couple years ago when they added them to Disneyland. So, I'll show you real quick as I get up and walk. And you'll see me walking, so very sorry the room is moving around a little bit. I just wanted to show you somewhat what the Magic Bands look like. So, these are our Magic Bands that I'm going to be using for me, which is the 70th anniversary Magic Band. The Magic Band that the two Jack Skellington and Sally ones are, one is for my brother and one is for his girlfriend. So, that's that. There, I turned my camera around. You can tell that they are glowing while they are charging. And that means that they're charging so that we can use them to scan into the turnstile to go into Disneyland. Hopefully everybody's following me so far. Then, so scanning into Disneyland is easy. You put your wrist on the little thing, the little Magic Band button, I call it. The little turnstile glow up thing. Hi, I can't say your name very well, but nice to meet you. Anyway, putting your wrist down on the Magic Band, I can tell that everybody, wow, what a response so far. Hi, everybody. Anyway, I can definitely say using Magic Band Plus, go use your wrist on the turnstile at Disneyland and put it down until you see a green light and hear a sound that says that you're in, and the turnstiles will open. They'll let you in, and they also take your picture first of all. Also, if you have never been to Disneyland or have a ticket that is not an annual pass or magic key, as they call it, they will take your picture every time. But if it's just a one-day ticket, of course, like my brother and his girlfriend are going to be getting, they will be scanning in with their picture for the first time. My brother has never been to Disneyland for the longest, he's been there, but not for the longest time. And he's never been there when they've used all the electronic stuff like they have now. When my family was younger, they still had those paper tickets that you would get. And you used to have to either get the gift tickets at the grocery store with the cards, or you had to print out your tickets or go to the ticket booth and buy a ticket. This is years ago, before the reservation system was ever at Disneyland. So, yeah, so far. Then, when you want to go scan into a ride at Disneyland, the first thing you need to remember is making sure that you have the ride selected that you want to use. Then you also have to put your wrist back up to the magic band light and put your wrist down on the light until it lights up and makes the sound that it's okay to proceed into the rest of the ride for the rest of your queue. Now, it's different for somebody like me a little bit that has DAS or Disability Access Service at Disneyland. Who's ever heard of DAS at Disneyland or Disability Access Service? So, okay. DAS is a really, really cool program, even though there's some things that you need to know at Disneyland. DAS can be done, I think they put it back down to 60 or 90 days before your scheduled visit. It used to be 120 days, but it's not like that anymore. So different, definitely. Anyway, so what you need to do is you go on the Disneyland website, disneyland.com/accessibility services. And then from there, you're going to want to chat with the cast member. That's where you will see schedule or virtual visits. And then you click all of the prompts they're going to give you so that you can schedule to talk with a cast member. Now, it is not just a wham bam thank you ma'am thing. Most of the time you have to wait in a queue to get into talking with a cast member via video chat. And what that's going to mean is it does take time. Do it on your day at home. You're not doing anything, just sitting on the couch chilling out, because it will take some time. The other day, it took me an hour to get into talking with the cast member I don't think I quite understand your question. Right there. Okay, anyway. Otherwise, now, it took me over an hour to talk to a cast member, but it just took them a couple minutes to put my brother and his girlfriend onto my disability access service. It was nice because they know that my brother has never gotten to experience the disability access service. They used to give you a paper pass that you would have to show the cast member every time before you went on the ride. And oh my gosh, you didn't want to lose that little paper ticket, or else, uh-oh. But now everything's digital. Now everything's on my phone. I use the Disneyland app to schedule which ride I want to take myself and my brother and his girlfriend on when we go. If someone, for instance, does not really want to go on the ride, then I will uncheck their name on the list, because I know some people may not like every ride, and some people might have health conditions and not be able to go, even motion sickness. So it's really hard. But it's not easy to tell, the app to say, oh, this person can't really go. Just uncheck their name. And that's okay because there's plenty of people. Let's say somebody can't go on Space Mountain or Star Tours or Indiana Jones because of their health conditions. Then they don't need to. They can wait outside for you or go wait like around, a little table or something. Get a snack. So there's no reason to fret if you can't go on a ride at Disneyland. You just make sure you tell somebody where you're going to be when you get off the ride. You'll be back up with them. And my brother and I will probably go on pretty much everything. But his girlfriend, I don't blame her. She has migraines. Those are not fun for those of you who have that. So going on some of the rides can aggravate migraines really bad. Most likely it's the roller coasters or something with a lot of motion and jerking. It can be as simple as somebody, let's say, going on teacups or Indiana Jones or even Space Mountain. Some people can't go on Star Tours. I get that. Luckily, I don't really suffer from motion sickness all that much, except one, I'm not really a fan of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland, and the rides make me sick. So those are the two rides that make me really, really ill. I had a little bit of a hard time, especially with Millennium Falcon, the ship that's over there. After that, my head started to spin, and oh my gosh, I had to sit down for over 20 minutes and have a Sprite. And I thought, this can ruin your day. But it didn't. I didn't let it ruin my day. I just made sure to take things easy and not, you know, rush to the next ride to see how fast I can get done. I just took it easy the rest of the day. So yeah, if you get sick at Disneyland, just take it easy. Make sure you're drinking plenty of liquids. Take things, slow when you're drinking if you have an upset stomach. Of course, don't gulp. And please also make sure you stay hydrated. Especially, you don't think how much sweat and exertion that you're going through. And definitely, you have to be aware too that if you start feeling like you need medical help at Disneyland, go to the first aid station at Disneyland or talk to a cast member and they can lead you to where you need to go and make sure that you're okay. They really don't want anybody, missing out on the happiest day of your life over there because you got sick. Not good. And it's really hard too because some people don't take care of themselves at the theme parks like they should. Some people also eat all of the food that they want and they end up eating too much. And oh my gosh, don't. Don't stuff yourself. Definitely just eat as normal as possible. Yes, you can have treats, but definitely don't stuff yourself till you can't walk. That's not good. And also take it easy with a lot of, if it's too much caffeine, sometimes the stomach can be overly sensitive too. So if you're sensitive to too many caffeinated beverages, try to limit yourself as much as possible. The other thing is kind of watch for foods that are spicy, have a lot of grease, or also on occasion have a spice you may be unsure about. Talk to a cast member if you have sensitivities to certain spices or allergies. It's really important that you talk to a cast member about any food allergies or any sensitivities. You don't want to get sick at Disneyland. No way. And the cast members are so helpful for those who have food allergies and food sensitivities. I'm allergic to quite a few things, and I have to be aware of my health and make sure that I talk to a cast member if I'm not sure what is in a certain dish that I might want to try, and have an idea about what my dish of choice would be if it's not a good idea to have that dish. I choose one or two other dishes to kind of choose from if that's not such a good idea the first time to try a certain dish. I'm very careful as well to make sure when I'm at Disneyland that I don't try a food that I'm not really certain that I've had. I don't really try a lot of certain new foods. I'm kind of careful to make sure I eat a lot of familiar foods. Some people can't try a bunch of new foods in public if they have food sensitivities. They'll most likely be what you call your safe foods. You want to make sure that if you also have an allergy that you have an EpiPen, do not forget it. Please do not forget your EpiPen. And also make sure if you have needles, talk to a cast member about needles if you have certain health conditions where that's involved. You also need to be aware that if you have diabetes or some other things, that you make sure you bring your insulin and talk to a cast member if you're on insulin. If you're on anything like that, definitely reach out to cast members or even first aid. They're wonderful, and you'll definitely get the help you need. Also, making sure with the Magic Band, make sure you charge your Magic Band every time before you go to Disneyland so that you'll have your power on for your Magic Band that will last for the whole day. Sometimes the Magic Bands will last longer than a day, but it's always good to definitely charge them every time. If you need a portable charger, definitely buy one at Walmart or Amazon. I recommend that the most. I have 2 power banks that I usually bring. One of them is small and it's black and it's very light. It doesn't cause my backpack to be overly heavy. I have another one. It's a little bit bigger, but it still doesn't add a whole lot of weight to it. It's red, and it's easier for me to see. But I know I have both of the chargers with me, just in case I or someone that has a Type-C charger, just like me, can charge their device when it starts getting low. I always make sure to know, too, that somebody who may not have a power bank also knows about what you call in the parks fuel rods. Fuel rods are devices that are these chargers that you buy and swap at Disneyland. You buy the fuel rod for, what is it now? I can't remember exactly, like $20 or $30, I think it is. And then it drops down once you buy it in the little slot, and you pick it up and start using it if you need it. Once your fuel rod runs out of power, you go back to the machine and put swap. And you make sure that you can swap your fuel rod out if your fuel rod runs out of power. So definitely now, it's important to make sure you understand what's happening at the parks. Anyway, A quick update for everybody real quick again, and I'm sorry I have to keep saying this. I've been receiving some more negative comments about my eyes, and I'm really actually getting quite tired of having to say this. But I have an eye disorder called strabismus, which means my brain and my eyes do not work together. It's going to be corrected by surgery, most likely starting on March 6th. There's nothing I can do about it. This is a disorder I've had my whole life. And it's really annoying because people act like I can control how I look at somebody, how I see. I can't. There's nothing I can do to make my eye get into the correct position. So, okay, for who's asking, so the disorder, again, is called strabismus with my eyes. Both of them. And it's hard. Oh, thank you, dude. Yeah. So the eye disorder strabismus is characterized by my eyes not working with my brain. They're crossed, and they have to be corrected by surgery. It's not going to be just wham bam, thank you, ma'am. When they do the surgery, it can take a couple hours, and then it's up to my body to recover from the surgery. Depending on which position my eyes are in, and they'll talk about this when most likely for the pre-op, I'm not sure, but they'll either tighten the eye muscles or loosen them, depending on what they have to do for my eyes, to get them into the correct position again. Now, the only thing is, when this finally happens, I will be offline for, who knows, quite a while, I'm assuming. I'll show everybody the final result once I recover, but definitely don't want to strain my eye muscles all that much. Yes, I was born with this. Yes. Most people think you can develop strabismus over time. No, you're born with it, but it may take time to show up. It may take some time to have the eyes go out of the alignment they need to be in. So when it finally does occur, it's important to... Oh, my hair. So my hair hasn't been done for a long time, but I tried out a new hairstyle to part it and everything this way for tomorrow. Oh, thank you. Thank you for saying good luck for the procedure. Yes, I'll be honest, this is really a scary time coming up. I don't like hospitals, I don't like procedures, and I don't like my eyes touched. I don't like eye drops, even though I'm going to have to do that. With my autism, I have a lot of sensory issues. Well, a lot of them are for needles, which, oh my gosh, once again, that will happen. Then, I don't like my eyes touched. Anybody who's going right there is like, okay, what are you doing to me? Like, talk to me instead of just going right in my face. I'd rather have somebody talking to me before they go right near my eyes. But some people don't listen. So it's like, okay, I need you to talk to me. What are you doing? So it's a little uncomfortable. The recovery's not so funny at all because your eyes will get really gritty afterwards. Normal. It's the eyes responding to what they did during the procedure and the healing process. So in order to get rid of the grittiness, once this procedure is, you start recovering, you use a warm or hot washcloth as hot as you can stand it and put it over the eye. You don't rub your eyes. Oh my gosh. Whatever you do, do not rub them. It's not good. When I was little, my parents had to do everything in their power to make sure I was not going to rub my eyes. Distraction was key if they wanted me not to touch my eyes. On occasion, I might have to be reminded, hey, like, what are you doing? Don't touch that. But there's ways for somebody to tell you in a nice way without getting angry. Kind of say, hands off, what are you doing? Or do you know what you're touching right now? Because some people forget when they're recovering from a surgery like this, you may not realize what you're doing. You might temporarily be in la la land, so you might go and touch your eye and be like, oh, what did I just do? I'm not supposed to touch that. And it's very hard to get used to not being able to touch your eyes. And I'm going to struggle quite a bit with this. I also have to say, for anybody else who's had any kind of eye procedure, you have a right to talk to your doctor and your family about your fears. If you don't understand something, or if you really are just kind of going, oh my gosh, like, what are my risks and what are the odds of certain things? You have that right to be definitely curious. Thank you so much, Vicky, because now it's a little bit hard for me to go through any kind of medical procedure. All in all, minor and moderate procedures. This will be my 23rd. 23rd time going under anesthesia. So, it doesn't get any easier. It really doesn't. I'll be completely honest. Mask or IV, it's still terrifying. Because, I'll be honest, I've never liked medical stuff. And this time is the first time, too, I won't have my dad. As everybody most likely will know, but I will run through it due to having a new audience. My dad, Dennis, passed away on July 2nd, 2023, unexpectedly from a heart attack. And it was really, not only a giant shock, but it was like, wait a minute. Like, okay, now, if I have to have a procedure or medical stuff done, Dad's not going to be there. Only in spirit, even though that's, great that he's there in spirit, it doesn't make it easy when he's not here physically. And so I'm going to be overwhelmed for that because it's like now, this is the first time my mom or who else is going to help with me is going to be on their own. And it's not going to be easy either because I was told, due to the nature of this procedure and how animals can get, in your way for love and attention after the surgery, you do not want to be in the house with dogs or cats or anything else that's going to climb on you and get in your face. So due to the nature of that, I will be finding someone out of my church friends or anybody else I know to go stay with, and they said at least a week. Some people say, depending on your recovery, slightly a little bit more, because they don't want the animal to be like trying to get at your face to lick you. I totally understand that. I don't want my dogs, licking any place that's going to get infected or irritated by their tongue. My dogs lick a lot. My dogs love to get in your face for kisses, which they're very normal dogs. They're small and they're very, very loving. So I have to make sure that I'm away from anything that can get in my eyes and cause infection or irritation for the foreseeable future after that. And after usually a couple weeks, your eyes should start really being a lot better after the strabismus surgery. But I think they'll have me be a little bit, propped up, so to speak, for a couple weeks. Not to do anything strenuous, as well as not to bend down a whole lot to, let's say, the one thing they definitely don't want you doing is reaching down onto boxes and, cupboards and everything and having your head down. Same thing with my sinus surgery. I had to keep my head at a certain level to make sure the stuff and blood didn't, go into the wrong part of my sinuses. So, yeah, this part's going to be another one that I'm going to be more alert now about what's going on. Because the last time I had this strabismus surgery, I was 7 years old. So, yes, I was aware of a little bit of what was happening, but not a lot. So now that I'm 32, I'm definitely going to be aware of more that's happening to me. So yeah, back to what's happening with Disneyland. I'm going with my brother and his girlfriend on February 4th. And that day might be a little bit warm. Hopefully not too bad. But here's the things I think most people don't remember on a warm day at the parks. Oh, I see. Vicky, oh man, you're having vascular surgery? Oh my gosh. And I don't blame you for being nervous either. Oh my gosh. And I know 62 and anxious any age is going to be nervous about an upcoming procedure like that. Oh my gosh, I don't blame you. I really pray for you too that this procedure goes really, really well and that you'll recover really, really quickly too because, yeah, wow. I know it's not fun or easy sometimes. And now, with Disneyland, the other thing I need to say is, so yeah, if it's a little warm outside, like I said, stay hydrated. Some people don't like water, but you need water. Oh my gosh. And if you don't drink water, oh my gosh, you're going to be going, ugh. Oh, thank you so much for for subscribing, Vicky. I appreciate it so much. Oh my gosh. So yeah, you definitely need to make sure also that besides hydration, you need to eat really well on a hot day. Have some salad or some fruit. Go get a Dole Whip at near the Tiki Room. Go get maybe a little scoop of ice cream or something. Something cold. Definitely don't overindulge in super dry or flaky stuff that much because it will dry out your throat. Yes, you can have cake and a pastry, but don't over dry your throat because you will be thirsty. And the more you drink, you might actually overhydrate. And yes, people are asking, is that really a thing? And yes, it is. Overhydrating will not only cause you to go to the bathroom all the time, but you will also deplete your sodium levels. You will deplete your sodium levels to the point where you'll be tired, groggy, and not feel well. And you might get a stomach problem. In order to combat this, I know that it said it's not the best for you, but get a lemonade or a Powerade or Gatorade, whatever they have. They have Coke products, so it will be Powerade or a lemonade. Make sure you don't overindulge in too many sodas all at once. I make sure, if especially it's hot, if I go to, oh, thank you so much, Vicky, and I'm really glad to be honest with you and everybody else about the medical stuff too, because I feel not too many people are open and honest about this. And what do you have to hide? It's okay to be honest with people, especially your viewers here on YouTube. They're your virtual family. So you definitely should be very engaging with your audience. And, dude, I don't know really who you are down here because, yeah. Anyway, now I got that out of the way. Um, yeah, please don't talk to whoever last kind of put that post. Please don't put any post down like, yeah, some of these comments are kind of strange. So watch out with this one. I don't know how to delete that. Okay. Well, anyway. Okay, I guess I don't understand this question. The reason I might be a little more breathy or stuffy to a lot of people is because I have really bad nasal allergies. I have had sinus problems my whole life. So in many ways, I'm going to come off to be extremely stuffy certain days. Yeah, and sometimes I have to take deep breaths in order to kind of make sure that I'm breathing correctly. Because sometimes my sinuses get so bad. And, oh, hi, dude, I know I haven't been on here for a while, but I'm really glad to be back. It's been a little over a month. So, yeah, and I'm really hoping to, once all my medical stuff gets kind of taken care of, that I'll be able to post better and look at everybody much better than I am right now, and that really feel more comfortable on camera, because right now it's sometimes not certain ways very comfortable to look in a certain way. I try to keep my head, moving just a little so I can find a comfortable position to look at you. And that's not always fun. And then, as time goes on, like with Disneyland, I'm going to call this my, last hurrah trip for a while, because it is, until after I recover from the surgery. And then as time goes on after that, once I'm able to go back, my Christmas and New Year's went really well. Quiet, that's for sure. It was just a little family Christmas and New Year, and definitely different without my dad, which it's now been 2 Christmases. And yeah, it's not the same for sure. Watching Christmas movies, watching YouTube Christmas for Disney. I went to Disneyland for Christmas time when it first started back in late November. And then I went back for one more time December 10th to take 2 friends of mine to Disneyland so they can see Christmas time at Disneyland. And now they've just recently, this is late at Disneyland, that they just pretty much put all the Christmas stuff away. Usually they go do it right after Christmas, the first week of January. But the last few days they took everything down and closed some of the rides for their annual refurbishment back to the regular versions. So It's a Small World is currently closed right now. I don't know when it will reopen to go back to the regular non-holiday version of Small World. And then Haunted Mansion reopened. So Haunted Mansion is open, which I'm very excited about. I was getting a little nervous that it would be closed too before my brother and his girlfriend get to go with me. But since it's open, we will definitely go on that together. That's about, most of the time, that's about it for the holiday stuff. Because we're not going to California Adventure that day. It's just one day. Oh my gosh, it's too crazy. I've park hopped before, and sometimes it's great. Other times it's like, oh my gosh. Once 11 a.m. opens and you're able to park hop, you have a choice to make whether you're going to stay in the park or park hop. But if you have a park hopper ticket, you definitely want a park hop. But with my Magic Key Pass, I can choose whether or not to park hop at 11 a.m. So definitely, I don't usually park hop unless I go for a 2 or a couple day visit. 2 or 3 days, okay, yeah, I'm gonna park hop. But I usually stay in that park that I start in every time. And it's really funny because California Adventure is going through a big refurbishment in a lot of spots. So, Avengers Campus is going to start going through more renovations. My least favorite land in California Adventure. They also are sadly shutting down the Monsters Inc. ride after 20 years at California Adventure. It makes our family super, super sad. And I'm probably not going to see it before it closes, which is very sad. I got one last trip done in November, and oh my gosh, it was so sentimental. 20 years is a long time to go on a ride that you've been going with your family and friends forever. And I was thankful that I got to take my family on those kind of rides, like Monsters Inc., before they're gone forever. As well as, I would say the one thing that I'll never understand is kind of why they couldn't, do anything with the former Country Bear Jamboree attraction, even though it wasn't a ride, it was a show. I feel like if they brought back Country Bear Jamboree and moved it to like Frontierland instead of where it used to be, it would be a hit to come back. But of course, our words fall on deaf ears for sure. Our words usually do not hit Disney and say, hey, do something about this. People want these attractions back, but they're not listening. They claim they listen to the fans, but not really. And the other thing is, Disney did not listen to people's pleas enough to leave both Monsters Inc. and Splash Mountain at Disneyland. They just go, boop, they just take it out after over 20, 30 years of an attraction. It's gone. Come on. Oh my gosh, leave everything alone. And it's really sad because I've seen Disneyland, like, oh my gosh. I've seen Disneyland and California Adventure change considerably. Hi, Carter. Nice to meet you. And I've seen Disneyland definitely evolve into something that I love and dislike at the same time. I love the rides. I love the cast members that work there. I love a lot of the food. But I'm definitely sad about all these attractions that keep closing that are icons. Okay, Vicky, I hope you have a great day. Anyway, the other thing that was really hard at Disneyland is when before Star Wars Galaxy's Edge came in, it was Big Thunder Ranch. For those who remember that, Big Thunder Ranch was around for over 40 years. And Big Thunder Ranch was so special. And I wish they hadn't changed Splash Mountain either. That was an outrage. Oh my gosh. When they took out Splash Mountain, I looked at that and I went, and plus they removed the name Critter Country, and now it's called Bayou Country. I'm sorry, that doesn't ring a bell anymore. Like, that doesn't say magic. Critter Country was an adorable name. Also for the Winnie the Pooh ride that's still there, which replaced what I said before, the Country Bear Jamboree. So we miss Country Bear Jamboree a lot. But I do love the Winnie the Pooh ride, and I love Winnie the Pooh as a franchise. But it is sad because Country Bear Jamboree was so special, and it had a lot of people loving the songs and stomping around and clapping to all the songs that the bears would perform. The last thing we have where people can be open and sing and really have fun like that is the Tiki Room. Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room has been open since 1963. So let that sink in how old that is. So it's been, whoa, I guess it's going to be about 63, almost 64 years old now. My math sucks, sorry. Yeah, so 63 years coming up. So it's very wonderful that they've never done anything too super controversial to the Tiki Room. The Tiki Room, in fact, has been improved quite a bit because they've just redid the inside and outside of Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room to enhance the show effects at Disneyland. Oh my gosh, because before, some of the birds were definitely starting to show their 63 years almost of service to the parks. Outside also the Tangaroa tree, which has that booming bass voice of actor Thurl Ravenscroft, who, as a history a little bit, Thurl Ravenscroft was also the voice of Tony the Tiger for over 50 years for Frosted Flakes. And Thurl Ravenscroft is also the Tangaroa tree outside the Tiki Room. And he's also Fritz the German parrot inside the Tiki Room. In Haunted Mansion, you will see some singing busts. He kind of says, some people say he looks like Walt Disney. Well, I can tell a difference for sure about Walt Disney and Thurl Ravenscroft, even though they both had mustaches. It may have styled the hair a little bit similar back in the day. But definitely they couldn't be more different from each other. Walt Disney wasn't as tall. Thurl Ravenscroft was 6'5", and oh my gosh, Walt Disney was probably 5'10", 5'11", something like that. And definitely Walt Disney definitely had a little bit of different hair. It was pretty funny to kind of look at their differences and their similarities. Definitely spoke differently, too. Walt Disney had a much higher pitched voice. I wouldn't say Walt Disney had a super high voice, but he didn't have a super low one either. While Thurl Ravenscroft talked and sang super, super deep, being a bass. He could not ever change that voice. So now, with a lot of things at Disneyland, why are they changing all the popular rides? Your guess is as good as mine, Carter. The sensitivities that people see at the Disney parks are a little bit ridiculous. Splash Mountain was not racist. It didn't have any negative stereotypes of black people and anything to do with like the plantations or slavery. It didn't depict any of that. And Song of the South was never to try to make people, agree or disagree with slavery. The man in the movie, Uncle Remus, or as the actor who played Uncle Remus was, what's his name? James Baskett. James Baskett was born some years after. Sorry for the noise in the background. My mom's doing her spring cleaning. Early spring cleaning. And James Baskett was born after, the Civil War. So there's nothing racist about him. They tried to say he was depicting a evil stereotype. They weren't trying to do that. They were trying to show what the plantations were like down in the South. So people's inaccurate descriptions of what's happening and why they call Disney racist is weird. The cold weather. I love the cold weather. Oh my gosh, now that it's warming up again here, I'm not exactly a big fan of it. I love cold weather versus hot. And versus warm as well. I love the cold. Oh my gosh, I used to love when my grandfather lived in Lake Arrowhead. I loved Lake Arrowhead. Oh my gosh. And I enjoyed the snow like crazy. I really wish right now that I could be in the mountains and have going in the snow again. That was so much fun. But I don't know how I'm ever going to get back up to the mountains again. But yeah, I really loved that a lot. And definitely, like I was saying, definitely Disney is getting a little bit too comfortable with people starting to try to change things that they think are racially profiling or insensitive without looking at the story properly. If they looked at Song of the South as something that was a blessing and not a curse, and they shouldn't have banned the movie Song of the South from 1946, it's ridiculous. Oh my gosh. They need to unban Song of the South so people can watch it again and really, really enjoy it. I've seen it once, and it was a really good movie. And yeah, I love getting up in the morning and enjoying the cool weather too. I love when it's freezing and I can, wear a jacket or a sweater without sweating super, super badly. My body does not like the heat. After usually 70 degrees, my body does not like the temperatures. Oh my gosh. I know the weather and everything can definitely be, everybody's opinion about how they feel with the weather and everything. Oh my gosh. It varies so much. And also with Disneyland, definitely people just kind of know, way too little about trying to preserve history. And sadly, by Disneyland taking out its more iconic and super well known attractions, they're definitely shooting themselves in the foot. Because a lot of people no longer feel they would like to go to certain parts of Disneyland. All I practically do in what used to be Critter Country, is to go on the Winnie the Pooh attraction. Unless somebody wants to go on Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which I dread, that has never been on it. I'll usually go for somebody once that has never been on Tiana's Bayou Adventure, but I don't necessarily enjoy it. And I'm not sure whether or not my brother would even consider going or not, because I don't feel my brother was probably very excited about Splash Mountain going. I don't think he was very happy when I told him. Because my brother and I are old school, and he's 30, I'm 32, so we grew up with Splash Mountain and all the old classic rides. So I'm sure my brother's going to be like, where am I? Bayou Country? Like, this is not what I remember. My brother's going to be so confused. And he's going to look at Disneyland as like, what in the world? Where am I? Because Chris, my brother, has not seen Disneyland since he was probably a preteen. Maybe early teens. Most likely not even that. Most likely a preteen. So he's going to look around like, huh? Like, yeah, I laugh at it since my brother is going to be having, like, also what my brother will not be used to is how you go into an attraction and you have to scan in with your magic band. And I also have to make sure that my brother realizes, thanks to my disability access service, that he doesn't have to go wait in the standard queue and have a hard time. Because, nope, guess what? With this, and not being able to see well, and with my mobility issues, it would not be possible for me to get into a standard queue and try to climb all the stairs. No. Oh my gosh. The last thing anybody ever needed me to do is fall. And when you have a lot of people walking onto the rides, it gets pretty treacherous with people shoving, pushing, trying to mow you out of the way so that, you can walk faster. And some people try to cut in line, which is absolutely terrible. And they ruin it for everybody. Not just themselves. They ruin everything for everybody. I really wish the rule was so stern that whoever line cut it at Disneyland, they look at the camera and automatically say, oh, this person is off of this ride and out of the park for the day. Or out of the park for 30 days for line cutting. Whatever they need to do to stop the line cutting. It's terrible. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that you can't wait for just like a little few minutes or so until I move up. Like, come on. Like with DAS, sometimes I still have a small wait. 15 minutes, 20 minutes at the most of the time. And I'll make sure to tell, my party Don't leave the line because I may not find you. If you need to go to the bathroom, you do that before we go. Do not try to get out of line and come try to find me, because I won't be there. I'll probably be on the ride already by the time you get there. So, and also that's true. If you're in a line at Disneyland and you have disability access service, the line moves a lot faster than it would in the standard queue. Typically, they'll put you through what's called the lightning lane, or they'll put you through the exit. And, oh, thank you. These glasses are really good. I really like them a lot. But most likely my prescription's going to change, and so will my glasses. So yeah, but I like this round style a lot more than typically the rectangular or the square styles. They're definitely fitting my face a lot better. And they stay on a lot better too. They're not falling off. And thank you, Carter. And I am really thanking you a lot for your prayers and well wishes. And the last thing I'm really going to say too is, like I was, Disneyland's disability access service is amazing, because I usually don't have to wait longer than 20 minutes at tops to get into an attraction with just myself or with my party. I also make sure to tell the cast member that I prefer, thanks to my vision and how short I am, that I really want to be in the first 2 rows or in the front. I typically at 5'1", when I'm sitting down, I really cannot see over most people's heads. I'm going, I can't see, like, over people. It's really hard. And it's funny because I'm going to tell my brother, well, you are going to be the tallest one probably in here, and you're going to be being told that they can't see over you, but oh well, there's nothing you can do about it. And my brother, at 6'5", yeah, oh my gosh. That's another thing somebody asked me earlier. With your brother being so tall, what are the odds that he's going to have trouble at Disneyland? To answer your question, yes, there are going to be some things my brother will have trouble with. Well, the parking tram may be the first thing that might cause a couple issues. The parking tram has a clearance level as you're getting in that can be a little low for tall people. My brother will most likely have to duck as he gets in there. A lot of doorways, oh my gosh, are very, very low for my brother. So he has to be super careful not to smack his head. And that would not be fun. Go to Disneyland and hit your noggin on the ride. No thank you. I won't have to experience that. But I know some tall people, and it's not fun when you can't fit in certain places like everybody else. My brother also had the question of, where else am I possibly, going to have some issues? Well, at 6'5", he may not be able to get on some of the rides. Matterhorn is looking like it may be too tight. I don't remember if they still have a test seat outside of Matterhorn for people to try to see if they fit or not. They used to. Don't quote me. It's been a long time since I've had to see if somebody fits anywhere. And my brother may also have a lot of trouble with Space Mountain, Star Tours, hopefully not Haunted Mansion. Haunted Mansion only be when the thing comes down and the lap bar drops, my brother may have to cross his ankles so he's not too bopping into the end of the ride really hard. And another one somebody said is, how about Big Thunder Mountain Railroad? Yes and no. Big Thunder can usually accommodate those who are tall, but it may be best to avoid the middle rows, which can usually be the more compact rows. Same thing with the mini adventures of Winnie the Pooh in Bayou Country. My brother will not be able to sit in the second or third row, or probably even the back, which we don't want anyway, because I'm going to try to put us in the front. Like, most of the time, if I request to sit somewhere, they usually accommodate my wishes, because they know I have mobility issues, and usually I go with people who are taller than me and may need to sit somewhere where they're comfortable. This is the first time I've taken my brother without my parents. That's another thing, that this is brand new. So my brother's gonna be like, oh my gosh. He has to realize now that he can rely on me. And that's going to be interesting too, because he knows I do the Disneyland special needs meetup group as well as this channel. So he knows he can trust me on making sure, like I did when we went to Knott's Berry Farm, that he can trust my lead. Even though sometimes my brother has wanted to be the leader. Typically, I think my brother tries to have his leadership qualities. But anyway, yeah, my brother definitely is going to also have to watch out for rides like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. It's a family ride in Mickey's Toontown, and I've seen a lot of big and tall people on the ride. But it's also definitely important that he does not sit in the back, because his knees will for sure hit the ride. I'm seeing a lot of people now on here that are saying, like, okay, is there any reason that somebody is saying these two mean comments on here? I'm definitely going to have to block both of you, because you're telling me to get off the internet. I'm sorry, that's not right. Definitely not nice. So, definitely goodbye. And I'm making sure that people know that this is a spam-free channel. And if anybody is mean, I will immediately block and report you. This is not the place for people to be mean to those with special needs. Nope. Guess again. You will be blocked for life if you can't be nice. It's, a right to me to say, that I don't agree with certain things Disney is doing. It's also okay for me to say something like, I don't understand why Disney is, doing this. I didn't say anything bad. I just said that I don't really agree with that. So there's nothing wrong with that. Definitely, I really need to show people, obviously, what manners are. And definitely, I will also block people if they say anything for people like me who may have special needs and have issues. The teasing is getting really bad. So I'm not going to allow that either, for sure. This is a place for people to learn information about myself, my Disneyland group, me traveling and going to different places, and for me to help others learn about navigating the world with special needs. So please be kind, please be courteous, please be helpful toward others with special needs, and understand that even though I might be different, I'm helping make the world a better place because I am opening my home and my heart to everybody to make it so that people can understand about some topics that maybe some special needs people don't really know. So it's a big learning process. We're all still learning, so I hope for now, because I'm going to go, I hope everybody has a great day, and I'll talk to you again. Bye! It was a long video, but I felt that